Why do we act like the United States is the only country that was built on stolen land, as if the entire Western Hemisphere was not basically colonized? Y'all do this to justify what's going on right now, and it is so annoying. It's like y'all don't want any type of sovereignty. Y'all just want complete chaos. Like, Mexico was part of the Spanish regime for centuries that stole land from indigenous people. So because of that, should we just eliminate borders altogether? Let's just let everybody go where they want. No passports, no identification, nothing. That's not practical because you want the federal government to use our tax dollars to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? I'll have your First Amendment right to use your freedom of speech, to use your freedom of assembly, to advocate for the things that you want to advocate, regardless if I agree with it or not. But right now, y'all's protest is losing its message, is losing its impact. There are people right now in LA who are protesting and have no care in the world about the original message, about the original intent. Let's be real. Listen, I have a lot of empathy on what's going on right now. I could have a lot of empathy and still understand that there are consequences to illegal actions. That being said, the protest that's going on right now is losing its impact. I was on a live last night just to see what was going on in LA, and I couldn't even see the message because it was overshadowed by graffiti, by arson, by looting. People were picking up rocks. I'm watching this like all on the live. People were picking up rocks and throwing them at the agents. They were throwing firecrackers at the agents. This movement is being approached with privilege, as if I or millions of other Americans who live here, who are legal in this country, should sympathize with those who are undocumented. We can't even sympathize because we don't see the message. Some of the protests should be met with, we know they broke the law, but can we have some grace, or whatever that looks like in the movement. That's not what I hear. I hear screw borders. This is all stolen land anyways. They're hardworking. They're this. And all I see are Mexican flags.
That whole open border thing is crazy because, listen, when it comes down to different countries as American citizens, if you try to travel anywhere outside of the United States, there's certain documentations that has to be filed and received and approved in order for you to travel.
Correct, yeah.
So the whole open border thing, I think not. You come through the right way, your ass would not be harassed. That's just the way it should be done. Second of all, in regards to what this young lady said, in regards to sympathizing with, being empathetic and stuff like that for everything that's been going on. I'm empathetic, yes, to an extent. Based on the fact that, it's really hard for loved ones to be separated from their families.
Right,
okay, I'm empathetic for that. Now, am I sympathetic for the fact that the person who decided to come over to the United States illegally did what they did? No, I'm not sympathetic to that fact.
Right.
Because let's say, basically, hypothetically speaking,
that they came and paved the way for the rest of them.
Right. There was something going on in their country.
They got caught up with the time and they just,
I don't know. But let's just say that something was going on in their country and they had to escape from it. They could have filed for asylum. That's not the case. A lot of times people show up when they get approved for a visa, okay? Whether it be a working visa, vacation visa, or I forgot the other one. But nevertheless, a lot of times people know that once that visa is granted, even though it's granted under a different reason, they know for a fact that they're going to overstay. They just want to be granted permission, and that's all she wrote. Once that permission comes through, it's like, okay, let's pack our bags, let's go. Like she was saying with the protesting and the fact that this whole situation is losing its message, it's because we have people literally like trying to hurt agents, ICE agents. And ICE agents are put in place
to
deal with
going in a different direction.
Right. They were put in place because I was doing some due diligence. They were put in place back in 2002 or 2003. I think it was more so 2003, yes. And it was because of 9/11, basically. And ICE don't only deal with immigration issues, because I know that's what most people think that's what they are here for.
Border Patrol.
But they deal with customs, along with trafficking, and so many other federal things in order to keep us all safe. Okay, they're part of Homeland Security. And to think that people are just so doggone disrespectful. I mean, they're burning vehicles, they're throwing bricks, they're hurting offices, they're taking skateboards and breaking windows of federal fucking buildings.
Yeah.
Like, who in their right mind is going to sit back and say, you know something, these people are doing everything that they're doing for a great cause. Let's support them. Not to mention, I'm not going to sit here and put all of the shit that's been happening on Central American or Mexican people. Okay, because some of the shit that's happening are paid protesters as well.
Correct.
Okay, same shit that happened during Black Lives Matter. Remember the time when George Floyd got killed by the cops or whatever, and he was choked out, and the whole Black Lives Matter movement and so on and so forth, and the oppositions, they ended up putting bricks outside of buildings for paid protesters to literally destroy and deface properties and stuff like that, right? It's the same shit. With every riot, we see the same thing. Bricks just somehow miraculously end up, ain't no construction project going on, but somehow bricks always end up in that particular spot to cause and wreak havoc. Right? And it has to stop. A lot of people, nobody is falling for that shit anymore. So yeah, am I going to sit here and put everything on the Central American or Mexican people or people who are being deported as people that's defacing properties? Of course not. You got people out there who don't even know what the cause is about, but because they're reaping the benefit of payment, or they just don't give a shit about anything or anybody, they're out there just literally defacing and destroying everything.
A lot of them was asked too during the interview that we watched recently.
Yes.
So why are you out here? What's your reason? And
they don't even know.
They just turn around and say, well, I don't know. I'm just out here
just because I like to be lawless and I like to be a jackass. So
you have to have a reason as to why you're doing these things. I'm not, I'm not the one to really sit back and like point finger at just one ethnicity. I like to look at everybody, just kind of understand everybody's
greater perspective.
Take on why they're doing what they're doing. At the same token, I do believe that there is impossible that, paid protesters are out there to cause and to kind of like boost up the anger of the people in order for,
And also to make certain people look bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, within a nutshell, it's just a really terrible situation. Like I said, I'm a little empathetic to an extent when it comes to certain things, but other things is different ways in which things could be done. And right now, I'm not seeing a lot of that. And yes, the young lady is right. The message is being very tainted and distorted at this point.